Okay, sorry my loves that it took me a little bit this morning. I had some issues I had to resolve, and so I have come to a resolve. This question is for one of my wonderful followers out there who have asked about substances and things of the like. And being on them, being in sorcery work, being in meditations and things like that. So, I'm going to give you a little bit about my personal view on particular things. So, like I always got to put a little disclaimer out there. This is not an end-all, be-all to the discussion. This is a discussion that is had by many renowned people and smart people throughout the world on this, and it's a debate that is great on both sides. Both people have opinions and facts on both ends. You have your puritists, you have your new, it's all sorts of people, right? So, talking about substances and sorcery. Well, we talk about it like this. I never have said that the substance is bad, whatever that substance is. So let's go down through a list of about substances that people will be on. We start from the bottom. Okay, we'll start with some of our. So let's start with a little bit of cannabis. Okay, cannabis we know has strong medicinal values. Okay. Now, we're not talking about addiction, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about substances, okay? So we're not talking about substance abuse. However, these substances can be abused. All substances can be abused, okay? If you're an addict, you're an addict, and that means you use a lot of substance, or you buy a lot of mirrors, or you collect a lot of dolls, or you eat a lot of food, or you do a lot of whatever. An addict is an addict. It doesn't mean just drugs, okay? So, back to our substance. Talking about cannabis. Now, cannabis, THC, all those CBDs and stuff like that, we know they are holistic and spiritual, right? And how are they spiritual? A lot of times, you know, when you really looking at cannabis and not just looking at PG or weed, you know that there are multiple strains. Particularly, there's indica and sativa. They do two completely different things. One is a body high, one is a head high. You know, some people may need to smoke a little bit of cannabis before they start with meditation to slow down the mind. Okay, sometimes they might need a little cannabis for a variety of things. It also may be give me just a second. He's having a seizure. Give him a second. See, we're on live, ladies and gentlemen. Just have a seat. I'm on live. That's Pat. He came here, so I got to talk to him a little bit. Okay. Anyway, thank you. So, cannabis will help calm that mind so you can get into a meditative state. Okay. It helps you to reduce a lot of the things that are going on there. When you need a body high, when you need to be sick, it's not saying you need to smoke a whole this or whatever. You might need to only take a little puff here and there just so that you can calm the body down so that you can stay your ass seated, you know. But there are a number of ways that you can use cannabis in the spiritual sense. A lot of times it does help people focus their mind, helps calm them down a little bit. A lot of readers, a lot of times they got a lot of stuff going on in the brain. So it helps turn off all those other things so that they can focus on you individually. That is how I use it several times. So if I'm about to have a conversation like I'm on now, chances are I might have had a cue card or two before I came on. Chances are I'm currently working on a cue card. And all of that is so that I can stay focused and stay with you and completely ignore the rest of the world that is around me, but also so that I can keep track of my words a little bit better and so that those things can flow. It's just a thing that is there, so that substance is being used for that purpose. That substance has also been used to develop friendships and communication. and things like that. So that is a low substance. I don't think you're going to have any magical vision quests on some cannabis or anything like that, but calming the mind and calming the body, most definitely, that is a substance that you might use for that. Sometimes you might want to look at the complete opposite of that too. While cannabis do slow the body down, sometimes you might need something to perk the body up. A lot of us use coffee for that, or some sorts of teas. We're looking at the caffeine, right? Well, in the ceremonial sense of things, you could probably use like the yerba mate. That is also a substance. You can probably use the yaupan leaf. That is also a substance. And those are things that you can definitely utilize to invigorate the body or bring it up, get it to the state and where it needs to be. Because sometimes, let's say, for example, you might be ready for a meditation and your body is already slow because of the wear and tear of the day. So you need a substance to bring it up so that you can get into a good state of meditation, right? Because if you sit there too long, you may forget your whole meditation and fall back and go to sleep because you're so tired. And that's a different type of meditation. That's not the meditation that you were needing, while I'm sure you were needing rest. Okay? So you have that, right? You have your substances that will bring you up too, that are healthy. So the two that I recommended is the yaupan. The thing that I have recommended is the yaupan, and I have recommended yerba mate. So what you guys can do is you guys can make teas with that. You guys can make teas to help bring up the body for meditation, help you guys focus your mind a little bit, because sometimes the mind does slow down also, and you need to bring up the mind. Remember, it's two types of slowdowns that is going on. One, it could be a physical slowdown on your body that you need to bring up, but your mind is ready. Or two, your body is ready, but your mind is tired, so you need to reinvigorate the mind. Some good substances or medicines that you might want to incorporate in that tea would be mint, spearmint, or peppermint, something like that. That will get the mind going up. It will invigorate it. So that substance will help the mind in that. So go on ahead and utilize that in that. So like I said, a good yaupan tea, a good yerba mate tea, mix some good mint or peppermint or spearmint or something like that in there, will be a good thing to help bring that body back to where it needs to be. So those are some of those good little substances. Let's talk about a fun guy, right? Shall we? Now, the mushrooms have been a sacred medicine for a long time, people. Mushrooms, the peyote, those substances. Those substances are very sacred, okay? When we say they are sacred, we mean those substances should be treated a little bit more special than our everyday substances, okay? So that means that mushroom, that peyote, those types of things, that they grow in a sacred environment. What I mean by sacred environment, all environments are sacred, is but those particular substances need a particular environment in which to grow, in which to develop, in which to become the substance or the medicine that they need to become, right? You cannot just put that out in the garden over here and water it once a day and and it's going to grow. No, they need particular things in order to grow, right? Whether the earth or whether the grower, okay? Now, that whole art of creating and blending and developing and producing those things is a sacred art. It is an art that is handed down one to another sometimes, okay, on a lot of things. So, that medicine needs to be used in such a manner respectfully also. That medicine gets brought into ceremonies a lot of times, okay? Why would we bring those substances into ceremony, you might ask, okay? Yes, thank you, Chipil. They are grandparent elements. So look, why would we bring those substances? For example, before I do ceremony, I stop smoking regular peji or any type of peji about 7 days before the ceremony, or 3 days at the minimum, 3 days. Because see, you're right, at that time I should not be needing that particular substance to bring my body and my mind in a state for that ceremony. Okay? By that time, I have already developed the discipline in me to begin to fast. And that's the big thing too a lot of times. See, so those other substances can be used in fast. Let me take you back a little bit. Okay? The yaupon. The yaupon, you can use that to bring a caffeinated state, right? At the same time, in indigenous culture, particularly in my culture, Karankawa Indians, what we have is we would fast for days, water, food, everything, and then we would make a tea of this yaupons, okay, and we would drink it, and that would send us to a quest. So see, that medicine then adapted and changed over here in that ceremony. See, but we don't abuse that yaupon. We take that yaupon very carefully, you know, for particular things. The yaupon was only drank by warriors at particular times. It wasn't something that we just drank every morning like coffee to wake us up. That's not what it was, okay? It was still very sacred, okay? So, when you are fasting and you are beginning to put your body through particular things, the body have a reaction to certain things that you put in it, certain substances. So that substance, right, that herb is going to have a reaction to your body and it's going to take it to another level. So if you are fasting, that yaupon will take you to that level where you will receive visions. One of the effects that it would have when you would do that is because of the caffeinated state. Think of the situations that are going around, everything is blended. You got the fire going, you got the drums going, you got the singing going, and the pace is very fast because the caffeination is speeding the body up, so everything is going fast, and then you reach this level. Many times people would pass out. They would pass out because they were bringing their body up. They hadn't eaten for days, and they would pass out for a little while, and in that passing out, they will have a vision. You see, so that's one way you can use that substance. And this is not something that you do. When I say you do those things, my people that are out there listening, don't just think you're going to go out there and fast for 4 days and eat nothing and then have a cup of yaupon tea and you're going to have a vision quest. If anything, you're going to hurt yourself. Listen to what I'm telling you, those of you who might be thinking that. If you're not used to fasting for ceremony and taking these substances for ceremony, you are going to hurt yourself. At that level, then that's when you abuse those substances, okay? Because you are using something that you have no knowledge, no training in using, okay? You are misusing it more than likely, okay? So you need to seek an elder. Seek a master who works with particular medicines to hand you those things, to teach you, and then to set you free to go and administer those medicines, maybe, if that's your calling. Okay? So, we come back to the ceremony, right? The body is in a state. Usually, before you go into any type of ceremony, like I said, you will have fasted. You will have prepared the body. Okay, you need time to remove those impurities. You need time to sit and think about you, who you are, and reflect. You know, like I said, for me, a lot of times the peji becomes a pleasure. So for me, spirit will strike that from me. I know a ceremony or a fast is coming because the spirit will tell me a long time in advance, so that to prepare my mind mentally. It says a time is coming. You're gonna have to give up that grass, and then I know, oh shoot, okay, I'm gonna have to start getting some things right, you know, because I need to go without, you know, I need to get ready to put my mind in another state. When you're in this state of the ceremony, the environment, right, and we're bringing in particular medicines, really is what we call them, medicines. We don't call them substances, okay? Although they can be identified as substances, okay, in the terminology. These medicines that we bring in, let's talk, for example, just two right now. We're talking about the sacred mushroom and the sacred peyote, okay? When you have fasted for 4 days, if not longer, and you have purified your body and you have taken particular things out, the blood has had the opportunity to filter through the system, and all of these things are going on. When you administer that medicine then into the body, it will have a reaction, not just it will have a reaction on everything. It will have a reaction on the nerves. It will have a reaction on the flesh, on the organs of the mind, of all of the elements all around you when you take in those medicines. Okay? Now, when you take in those medicines, right? Let's say, for example, we're sitting you on the operating table. You're about to get an anesthetic because you're not going to let the doctor just slice right up into you, are you? If you do, you're tough. But not just no regular everyday person who is trying to get healing from a doctor is going to allow a doctor to cut in what is impure or is making that person sick, okay, without a little anesthetic around the area, okay, to kind of ease it, but also to kind of take you to some place, right? So when you're going into ceremony, know that is probably the number one reason why people are going into ceremony, is because they're trying to receive some type of healing from the one that is administering the ceremony, okay? And in that time, the one administering the ceremony is also the one administering the medicine, that substance, okay? So depending on the medicine man and the ceremony, there are a number of ways that the medicine get administered. But there are some core elements, and those core elements, people, is magic, but is science. It's just the effects that they have on the body. If you bring in the drum, that drum affects the body. That vibration sets a vibration in the skin, in that epidermis, in that nervous system. But also that drum bring a vibration into the individual itself with their heart, with their breathing. It begins to put the person where it needs to be, right? Then there's another element, the element of the spoken word, of the prayers and of the blessing, what the medicine man is probably singing to this person, or what you guys are singing together or as a group as a whole, that also have vibration that can be felt on the epidermis, on the skin. Your hair, many of you have felt it countless times. You be singing a song in ceremony. Your hair will start to tingle. It will start to rise. That's what all that is. It's an internal and an external feeling that you are having. All of that is natural at one state. If you are not there, and if you are fasting, you are naturally going to feel all of those things. Now you have been administered the medicine. The medicine, like I said, is going to take you to another level. If you take the magic mushroom, okay, as they call it, the sacred mushroom, the fungus, okay, what that is going to do, especially if you have fasted, it is going to heighten your senses. And within that, you can see many different vision quests. Now, you're not going to see, I laugh a lot of times, and I'm sure it's probably happened, but you're not going to take and be sitting and expect that, you're going to look into the sky and you're going to see the, coyotes rolling around up there, and you're going to look over here and a whole door's going to open and there's a desert and all that magic movie shit. That happens in the dream. That is in the dream state when you see those things. And that is a very heavy medicine to undergo, people, okay? That you're not going to get that from just a couple of hours or something at the fire. That's a very heavy medicine then if you do, and you ain't telling nobody about that if that happens. Trust me, you keep that to yourself if that ever happens. Okay? But so listen. So you're being administered this medicine. Understand that those things have a physical impact on the body and on the mind. And those medicines have been put here for those reasons, because Creator knows that the regular man, the everyday man, like you and I, we cannot just sit and obtain this level where we need to be. The everyday man is not the medicine man. The everyday man is not the one that is confined themselves to the mountain to live humbly with nothing and survive, on the fruits and berries and things like that. While yes, those ones do exist out there, they don't need those substances a lot of times. They just sit into the meditation, but that is because they're at that level. Remember, the physician is at a different level than the patient. Okay? And the grand physician, okay, the one that is the creator of all, the grand physician, they have put all this medicine in place for a reason. Okay? For the physician to administer to the patient. Okay? And for the patient to receive and trust from the physician. So that's what those things are. That's why, call them substances if you will, but call them medicine, because that is exactly what they are. Medicine. And when you change that lingo, by the way, you begin to change a lot of things. You see how you yourself may feel when I might call mushroom or peyote a substance versus mushroom or peyote a medicine. Do you see? To the regular man, the word substance and the word medicine already have different vibrations. To the physician, medicine and substance can be the same thing. So there is a distinction, right? Okay, so remember that. When you receive with knowledge, but when you speak with intent. So, moving forward, the medicine, as I will no longer use the word substance, the medicine can be abused. There are people out there that abuse the mushroom. They take it all the time because they want to feel funny, or they want to ha ha he he he, or they want to hang out with friends or whatever. And that is exactly how I feel about it. Whatever. That's you. You're going to use it. I'm not going to stop you from doing what you're going to do, and you're not going to stop me from doing what I'm going to do. But both of us are going to learn the lessons that we need to learn. So you use your medicine, I use my medicine, and that's that. But of course, there are people out there, like I say, they abuse the medicine. It's just there, okay? And people start off with good intent, using medicine and then abuse it. We see that in the regular world also. Somebody could be going into a surgery. They could get prescribed a particular amount of medication for the pain or something while they're in recovery. Next thing you know, mama didn't have no problem before, but she come out of this recovery. Now she's a pill addict. She's looking for pain pills and stuff like that. Truly, that's the fault of the physician. The physician should have been counseling and studying with the patient on the medicine that they administer. So that's one of the faults of Western medicine, is that the physician no longer counsels with you. That was one thing that I had definitely learned from my grandmother, is that she trusted her physician. As a curandera, she trusted her physician, but she also counseled with her physician. They had a great relationship. They talked, and she administered her own medicine at home to treat her ails and things like that. But she always counseled with her physician, especially when it came to particular medicines that she did have to take, So you must counsel with your physician always, all right? Take that both in the spiritual and in the physical world. Take that advice. So, let me get a little coffee here. We're back to talk about the medicine. The medicine is also good, but can also be bad. Medicine can also poison the body, okay, if used in excess. If you eat a shitload of spearmint, people, you're gonna feel the effects of eating a lot of spearmint. That's why a lot of times they say, "Oh, well, holistic teas, they don't work because they hard on the kidneys." Yes, because people, they drinking 8 gallons of chamomile tea and not drinking no regular water, thinking that that's going to make them sleepy. No, that's not how it works. You know, when you take medicine in forms of tea, you only take particular dosages. You know, you have to continue to incorporate regular clean water into your system to flush your kidneys. Nothing is better for your body than regular water, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So, don't get into the habit of that. For me, look, I'm a coffee drinker. I drink coffee all the time. That is why I have to continuously remind myself, water, 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 water. You need to drink water. Doc, drink water. Are you drinking water? You know, and then other people ask me too, are you drinking water? I appreciate all those people that ask me that, because you're the reminders. So you're taking in that medicine, right? Going back to those other medicines that can be abused. There are a lot of man-made medicines out there that can open portals. I'm openly going to talk. Let's just talk about meth for right now, okay? That exists big time in the spiritual world and is a big problem on reservations, low-income neighborhoods, things like that. Meth is intense. I have a lot of loved ones that is addicted to meth, okay? And they see things. A lot of you think, oh, that meth head, that junkie, he's paranoid, he's seeing things, they're not there. Oh, you better trust and believe that what they seeing is very real, babies. Very real. Because those medicines are poisons. Okay? Those substances are poisons. Okay? And they go into the body and they open things up spiritually. Methamphetamine opens the body up. It has a chemical reaction on the body. Your body is no longer in its natural state. You are now in a weakened state. You see, the same way that you would be on mushrooms or peyote. When you are on those medicines, you are in a particular state. That is why you trust the one across from you who is administering those medicines to keep you safe at that time while your body is in a weakened state. The same way when you get administered the anesthetic and you go under, you trust that your doctor is going to keep you safe while you on the table to bring your ass back to recovery. So, when someone self-administer that type of poison in their body, they're usually alone and in a dark space. So guess what come through? Loneliness and darkness. And so all those little shadows and stuff that the crackheads and the meth heads and all them are seeing, they're real. They have opened up within themselves a porthole to see all of these things. And they are real. And they exist around you too. So listen to them. Listen to them when they say these things. Now, that's why you see a lot of these people, they're always snapshotting, right? Oh, look, you see that shadow behind me. Oh, look, you see this. Oh, look, you see that. Hell yeah, I see it. And it's with you. And you need to know that. Those things are real. They're not just making those things up. That's real. Those substances, those poisons have taken their whole body to other levels. And now think about this too. We fast, right? I say, I got to go into the ceremony. I'm going to fast, so I'm not going to eat these things or whatever for a particular amount of days, yada, 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 yada. And I'm going to take my body to this state, and I'm going to receive whatever, and it's all going to be good, right? Hello, the same thing with the junkie over there, the meth and the crackhead. They're not eating. They're fasting. In a sick and morbid way, when you think about it, they are fasting. They are denying their body these particular things. And then they're incorporating these poisons and substance into their body. And they are taking themselves to another level and opening themselves up into those portholes and into those dimensions. So you too, babies, let me tell you something out there. If anything, you need to share that message. And when you have the talk with your children about drugs or whatever and stuff like that, you know, those substances and poison, That is the conversation you need to have with them also. You need to let them know that, oh, it's not just the physical ramifications that's going to happen to your body and the legal ramifications that's going to be out there. The spiritual ramification is the real one. That's the real one. That's when those demons and those evil spirits and stuff like that, they come through and they take a hold of the person and they hold them in that addiction. That's why when they bring the addict to the medicine man, to the physician, it's a long battle. It's a long battle because Indian people, that's the one thing I'm going to tell Indian people right now. You need to stop judging the addict. You need to stop judging the meth user, the crack user, the alcoholic. You need to stop judging your brother and sister. They're sick. You need to encourage them to go to the medicine. You need to encourage them to go to the doctor. The same way if your loved one had a heart condition or had all these medical illnesses and you love them, you're going to tell them you need to go to the doctor, right? You need to go make sure that you're taking care of your body. So don't judge the addict. Okay? There are people too. They started off somewhere. Okay? They got something in them. So you need to encourage them to go see their doctor. You need to encourage them to go back to the medicine. Because at that point, that person got a spirit on them. They have a strong spirit, if not more spirits on them. And the surgery happens in the ceremony. It's not something that's going to happen in a substance abuse treatment program or something like that. It's the spirit is there. And that's why addicts, they go for a little bit or they go for a little bit and they're good and then they fall back because that spirit never left. And so that's why you have to encourage them to come to the physician, to the medicine man, to the ceremony to get right in that prayer, because that is the spiritual surgery that has to happen on top of the physical surgery. That is how you administer medicines. And because for that, what will happen is a lot of times those medicines may not even be brought into ceremony. The physician, the medicine man will say, oh, no. We're going to start off with the 4 basic medicines: earth, air, water, and fire. Those would be the first, you see. So in regards to those medicines, the physician will probably say, no, those things do not need to come into the ceremony because that individual already have this spirit with them. And that's how particular medicines get abused, is that spirit still with that individual, and say, it's okay. You take it and make you feel better. Don't worry. It's sacred. It's a sacred thing. And it become abused. And then the person have justified it in their life saying, oh, I'm just taking a personal medicine. And if a medicine man or a physician call them on that, they get offended real bad. You see, that's the first way you can tell, is if they do not receive and accept, it's a spirit there. Okay? So pay attention to those things. Again, encourage your brothers and sisters who are living with those spirits of addiction that got a hold of them to come seek the physician, to go see the medicine, to go pray. Okay? So that's substance. Medicines, that's what those things are. Now, I said in the little thing, substance and sorcery, because, and I got Zach over here with me. I did not know until most recently this last year that sorcery means witchcraft, or pharmacy means sorcery. What is the history on it? I'm going to let Zach tell you guys the history real quick. Encyclopedia over here, guys.
Pharmacy and pharmacopoeia comes from a time when if it helped, and there wasn't a lot of distinction between drinking sage for a cold or doing a prayer for a cold. If it helped, it helped. And so as time went on, certain things became considered, oh no, that's not medicine, that's witchcraft. And the term included certain, the word itself has also been used to mean like talking to the dead and things like that. If you didn't get it and it produced unexpected results from weird combinations and rituals that you just didn't understand, then it was pharmacopoeia.
So, see, now you guys know just a little bit more about those words and where they come from and how they relate to particular things and stuff like that. But, my loves, listen, my coffee is almost done. And so that's all I have to say. We could talk for hours and hours and hours on substances and sorcery and medicine and ceremony and things like that. But the number one message that I want to give you guys in closing is this: as we review, all things that have been placed here by Creator that grow from the earth is medicine. And all of the poisons that exist in those things have been man-made. That meth, that crack, them things, those are poisons and substances. And they taint the body and they ruin it. They can never be used for good or to heal the body. Those other medicines, the peyote and the mushroom, those things, those are medicines that heal the body and are used in ceremony to treat, but not always used in ceremony to treat. Okay? Trust in your physician. Your physician from the secular world and your physician from the spiritual world. You must trust in them and you must seek counsel from them. You must always keep them in counsel. Okay? Do not go see your regular doctor and accept what they give you. Demand the counsel with your doctor when you go see them. When you go see your spiritual advisor or your spiritual physician, do not accept just what they give you, but seek counsel with them, okay? So that y'all all may be good. Hold them to their account as they can hold you to your account, all right? And learn to distinguish the difference between a medicine and a substance, okay? A medicine and a poison, one that heals and one that poisons, okay? One that destroys. And also know that all of those things open the worlds around us, good or bad, all right? So, I love every single one of y'all. I hope y'all have an absolutely amazing Tuesday. The shop will be opening at noon, window service only. Don't come through the door. You will be met with resistance and Lysol in the face. I love y'all. Y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all later.